Hi, I'm Mal, and this is Miniature Warriors. Welcome back. Today we push on with episode 3 of Terraforming Your Table, and we're building some entrenchments. The considerations I have in this is that my entrenchments must be usable for multiple periods and that they need to take 40 by 40 millimeter figure bases because a lot of my collections are based on that. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. Most of the stuff on this list is available from either hobby shops or your local hardware shop. As with our previous projects and terrain squares, the start point is to cut up the 8-inch polystyrene squares and the 8-inch MDF squares. Don't attach them at this stage. Now at this point, cut up some thin balsa wood sheeting into what will end up being planks for the edge of the entrenchments. So these could be any length that you like that fits and suits your actual depth of trench that you're making. I do cut 3 varying lengths, shorter ones for the walls, longer ones for duckboards, and then longer again for horizontal supports. Again, one of the important concepts here is that the profile, the edge of each tile, must match the edge of the adjacent tile. So here you see me marking up the edge that will butt up against the adjacent trench to ensure that the edges do align. I then cut these out on the hot wire cutter, ensuring that where the cut finishes on the tile is with the alignment marks for the adjacent tile. We then proceed to glue down the 2 walls of the entrenchment, the upper level of the tile, using our white glue onto our MDF base. We then, using our dark brown Celastic gap filler, liberally apply it to the actual trench. We then, using a palette knife or in my case, an old piece of MDF, I smear it and even it out to actually create the earth in behind our duckboards and our planking. I then, using the pre-cut pieces of balsa, line the walls of the trench using the shorter ones. The medium length ones I tend to use on the duckboards, but mix it up a bit, give your trench some character. And then finally, I use the longer ones as my horizontal supports for my paneling or my palings that are holding up the trench wall. Regardless, have some fun. The overall effect, although maybe not historical, will give you a decent looking trench. Once the sealant has dried, the Celastic, we then progress through our previous steps as per our standard tile. We paint the Woodlands dark brown paint around the edge and we let that dry. We then come back, paint the top of the tile with our Woodlands dark brown paint and we flock it with our dirt mixture. Once that has dried, we then spray it with our water and white glue mix diluted at about, I use about 1/3 glue to 3 parts water. We then spray it and let that dry. And lastly, if we want to add some green to our tile, some grass, I then paint on some of the diluted mixture on spots where I want grass, and I use a static grass applicator to add grass to it. Now, you don't need to use a static grass applicator. You could just sprinkle it on if you wanted to. It will achieve a similar effect. And there we have it, a trench. And of course, when you surround it with your other terrain tiles, all of a sudden you have a trench system, which is lower than the ground level. And when you start to put troops in it, it looks half decent. And there we have it, trenches. Fairly simple, multi-period, and suitable for 28mm figures on 40x40s. Although I must admit, my World War I figures are based individually. But anyway, moving on with our project, the next video will cover hills and contours. Anyway, I hope you can join me again.